Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss season 1 of Loki. Where do we start? So WandaVision started phase 4, Spider-Man Far From Home ended phase 3. Black Widow is a part of phase 4. We have Falcon and the Winter Soldier is part of phase 4. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, that's phase 4. So everything moving forward is phase 4. But Spider-Man Far From Home ended phase 3. WandaVision started phase 4. So all of these things kind of coexist in a sense. WandaVision and the reality bending that she can do is very poignant to Falcon and the Winter Soldier within the timeline branching, and hence leading into Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness, which then ties into Spider-Man's No Way Home. So it's just, I'm freaking out inside. Loki is 6 episodes long. Season 2 is already happening. We start out in 2012 New York when the Avengers time travel to get the Tesseract. And 2012 Loki happens to get the Tesseract, but therefore he breached the timeline, so he's a variant. So he's taken to the TVA, which is the Time Variant Association. He's put on trial by Judge Rabina, and he's interrogated by Agent Mobius, who's played by Owen Wilson. Tom Hiddleston with Owen Wilson, incredible. And then it's just one thing after another thing, and it turns out the villain we originally think is a variant who's a Loki, and then it's female Loki whose name is Sylvie, and then it turns out there's a bunch of different Lokis who were pruned into the void, but it turns out that every agent who works in the TVA is a variant themselves, and everybody's been lied to, that the timekeepers are not the real timekeepers. Who is in charge? Who is the man and or woman and or individual behind the Cloud Alioth who guards the timeline, basically, in the void at the end of time? So Sylvie and Loki go on their vast adventures to prove all these things, to face the individual who's in charge of everything, and then once they get to the end, where Miss Minutes herself refers to Kang the Conqueror as he who remains, which I thought was poignant. Beautiful dialogue between the three of them. Kang, who's not actually named Kang, but we know it's Kang, Loki and Sylvie, and Loki doesn't want a throne anymore. He realizes that he doesn't need a glorious purpose, that he's changed a lot, and he sees his change, he sees his growth. And Sylvie has just been bombarded with hate and vitriol since she was a child by being taken from the TVA, taken to the TVA because she herself somehow did something wrong on her timeline and was literally just taken out of it because she's a variant, but no one will explain why. So she therefore kills Kang. The branches of the timeline explode, and when Loki gets back to the TVA, knowing that Mobius is trying to get some answers and get the truth out to everybody that they are in fact agent variants, kidnapped basically, they all just assume that Loki's another agent. And then instead of the Timekeeper statues, we see a Kang the Conqueror statue. So what happened? So within this multiverse of madness, the multiverse is explained, and we know that Doctor Strange is appearing at the end. Well, the beginning of Doctor Strange starts at the end of WandaVision, something like that. So it's like, what are all of our magical spell-casting individuals going to do to help Loki defeat the TVA? But also, what is Sylvie going to do now that she has killed Kang? So many what-if questions, and there is a series coming out, literally entitled What If? It has nothing to do with this particular thing, but it's a matter of all of these different multiverses are colliding. So what's going to happen next? It is a multiverse of madness. Who would have thought that Loki the series would be the most poignant thing within the whole MCU canon? When Casey opens the drawer filled of Infinity Stones, you're like, holy shit, 23 movies are completely irrelevant because Loki's staring at them and he's like, that they're used as paperweights, and he looks at the TVA timeline and he's like, is this the most powerful force in the universe? Thinking that the Infinity Stones were the most powerful force, but they're not the most powerful force. Controlling time is the most powerful force. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. The character development and acting abilities of Tom Hiddleston, to die for. Absolutely remarkable. Kid Loki, Alligator Loki, Classic Loki, just being a badass. Like, so many things are just so epic. I'm so happy that we got different variants of Loki within this. Incredible aesthetic. It was like a 70s aesthetic, but like also like synth music as the score, loved it. It was only 6 episodes, I get it, but it's coming back for season 2. I'm assuming it's going to deal with whatever happens after, like, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, as well as Ant-Man Quantumania, as well as Spider-Man No Way Home. So, like, all these things are connected. Like, all these things are connected. So it's a matter of how, when, why, and where. Where on the timeline is it going to end? Or is it going to end? So many questions! I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I will watch it again. Mucho mahalo.